HannahMouse1 here. Welcome back to the Devlog series for A Farmer's Life, the farming game that I'm making in Scratch. Off the bat, I do have an apology to make. Recently I released a version of A Farmer's Life to gather some feedback. Thank you to all the people who sent anything in. Unfortunately, I have had to unshare it because, like an idiot, I forgot to save the project as a copy and completely broke the game in the process of making this video. You can still play the game, but only on itch.io and not Scratch. But back to the devlog. Before I start adding in the things you guys requested, there are some pretty significant changes that I want to make, and I want to do them now because any changes I make after this will be impacted by these alterations, and the longer I put them off, the bigger a job that implementing the alterations will be. The first of these changes is a change to the art style. While I like the simple pixely look, I was definitely feeling the limitations of the small number of pixels I had to work with when it came to more complex items, and more importantly, I was being super inconsistent when it came to pixel sizes. Some things were drawn at 100% scale, 200, some UI was at 150, and things generally look way better if you pick a pixel size and stick to it, so that's what I did. For the items, the biggest changes visually were the workspaces. I gave each one a unique silhouette to make them stand out visually. Other than that, it was mostly just scaling everything up and thinning down the lines so they were all using the same pixel size. Converting all of the text to an appropriate pixel size was a bit of a pain. I had to create 3 cohesive but slightly different fonts so that I had something at all the different sizes I needed. And there's a lot of text in my game, so it was a right pain to change. The map icons look so much better now. I was never really happy with them before, but things are looking much more alive and just have more character now. The NPCs also changed pretty drastically, namely they've become way more detailed. I have started to write out some potential storylines for each character, which gave me an idea of what personality traits I wanted to convey in their designs, and I'm really happy with how each one looks now. The stories won't be put in for a while yet, and I'm not going to spoil them here, but there are a lot of things that I'm prioritizing over the story, but I do plan on adding the storylines in down the line, so stay tuned for that. The research lab also got a significant overhaul. Basically, once I scaled everything up, I couldn't get everything to fit, so I remade it in a way that not only got everything I needed to in, but is actually more cohesive with the rest of the shops in the game. It involved making icons for every upgrade and having names and prices appear like they do in other shops, and overall I love how it came out. Now you can also see the locked upgrades, so you have something to work towards. Then there was just a lot of UI that I had to bring up to snuff, like the crafting costs for the workspaces, and by the by, I'm sure some of you will prefer the old look for the game, but I really prefer the new style. It opens so many doors for how things will look down the line, and just having the cohesive pixel size is just better overall. But with the new art style, the static water on the river was really bugging me, so I made a simple animation for the water. It took a bit of trial and error, but I am happy with how it came out. The next major change that I want to make is to go from a clone-based tile system to a pen-based one. Basically, Scratch has a pretty tight clone limit, and by drawing the tiles with a pen, I can free up a lot of clones, and it makes this tile system more versatile. It took a long time and a lot of experimentation to get everything working as intended, but eventually I got the base layer of tiles working as intended, complete with mouse over effects and the ability to respond to mouse inputs, and with the water animation for the river. The change to the art style and the sprites also screwed up all of the collisions, so this is a good time as any to implement the idea I had for pixel perfect collisions. If you don't know, before it was just approximating each 16th of the tile, but now it is actually pixel perfect with how I want the collisions to be. Basically now the 4 tiles around the player are shown as clones with the collision map, and the player can then collide with the clones. I set the clones to be a 100% ghost effect so you can no longer see them. It was really confusing and complicated to get working, and honestly it's still a bit of a mess, and unfortunately it's an endeavour that's going to have to continue next time because it was a lot of work that I just couldn't get finished this week. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you did. It lets me know that this is something you want to see more of, and apart from that, I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!